The walls of my cabin aboard the Ceres Dawn were stark and sterile, just standard titanium alloy and light gray panels. But one corner of my room stood out. A small photo frame sat on my shelf, behind my few belongings. It held a print of a woman, tall, elegant, violet-skinned, with opalescent eyes that shimmered like twin stars. Her expression was serious in the image, but regal, beautiful. No one knew about the photo. I had printed it from a blurry still taken during the diplomatic disaster on Varela Prime 3 years ago. A crisis summit had gone awry. Multiple envoys had died. She had been the only one who saved our crew, by defying her own people. I never even got her name. But I never forgot her. Now, 3 years later, the Ceres Dawn had just docked at Station Ilix 7 for resupply and refitting. It was a neutral hub used by many races, and I was leading the engineering inspection crew. I was halfway through cataloging damage to the forward bulkhead when the door opened. My heart stopped. There she was. Same glowing eyes. Same regal bearing. Same elaborate gold-threaded robes brushing against her calves. And those unmistakable ridged cheekbones unique to the Cerati highborn caste. Her gaze swept the room with icy precision, then fell on the photo. She stepped forward. "Why is my picture in your room?" she asked, her voice even and sharp as glass. I swallowed, slowly rising to my feet. My tools clattered to the floor. You remember me." She blinked once. "I remember the ship. And the incident on Varela Prime. You were part of the human team caught in the bombing, correct?" He nodded. "Yes. We were trapped. And you helped us. You defied your own security detail. I never got your name." She stared at me, unreadable. "I am Erin Talia Vesk," she said. "9th daughter of the Cerati Accord. Now High Envoy to the Interstellar Tribunal." I felt like the air had been knocked from my lungs. She was more than just a diplomat. She was royalty. "And you are?" she asked, crossing her arms. "Lieutenant Nathan Carter," I replied, embarrassed at how small my title sounded next to hers. "Systems engineer. First Fleet." She turned her gaze back to the photo. "You keep this." "Why?" I hesitated. There were 1,000 ways to answer that. Could lie. Say it was for documentation purposes. Or I could tell her the truth. "Because I never forgot you," I said. "You saved us. And you stood out. Not just because you were beautiful, but because in a moment of chaos, you had compassion when no one else did." Her brows lifted slightly. "You defied orders to help strangers," I added. That mattered. To me. There was a long silence. She finally walked toward the window, her fingers brushing the frame lightly. "You humans are strange," she muttered. "Emotional. Sentimental. And you're not." She looked over her shoulder, half amused. "Not in ways you'd understand." Over the next few days I saw Erin again. Not intentionally. Our assignments kept overlapping. Her in diplomatic meetings, me overseeing tech support for alien interfaces across the station. Once, we ended up seated across each other in a crowded food lounge. Another time, I found myself sharing a lift with her and her guards. First, she barely acknowledged me. But eventually, curiosity broke through her cool exterior. "You don't seem afraid of me," she said one day. "Should I be? You're a human lieutenant. I'm Cerati nobility. Your people are tolerated in our sector, not welcomed. And yet," I smiled, "you saved me once." She stared at me. "You keep saying that. As if it matters." "It does to me." Her expression softened. "You're either the most naive human I've ever met," she said quietly, "or the bravest." A week passed. One night, while I was working late calibrating a faulty grav generator, a message pinged on my comm. Come to the Arboretum deck. Alone. It was unsigned. I followed the instructions. The Arboretum deck was silent at this hour, full of glowing alien flora that mimicked bioluminescent forests. At the center she waited, Erin. Alone. She looked different. Not in full regalia. No entourage. Just a simple slate gray robe. Her expression unreadable. You came, she said. I wasn't sure if the message was really from you. I needed to see something. She stepped closer, looking directly into my eyes. You think I'm some kind of hero, she said softly. I think you did the right thing when no one else would. I did it because I was afraid. That surprised me. She went on, voice more distant now. On Virella Prime I had a vision, just for a moment. I saw your people crushed beneath rubble. I saw how easily we, the so-called advanced races, could destroy you. And it horrified me. Not because of power, but because I saw myself in you. Silence. Since that day, she said, I kept wondering why I hesitated, why I went against my orders. And now, seeing that picture in your room, I understand. You saw me. Not just a title or a rank. Me. She took a step closer. You kept my image not as a trophy, but as a memory. He nodded. You weren't just another alien dignitary to me. You were proof that hope can come from unexpected places. Her eyes softened. And now I find myself doing something dangerous. Like what? Her fingers brushed mine. Wanting to stay. The next few nights blurred together like something out of a dream. We talked about cultures, languages, music. I showed her old Earth recordings. She taught me Sarati dance, graceful and flowing. We argued over history, over human recklessness versus alien arrogance, and laughed when we realized how much we had in common. She confessed she hated her station sometimes, that her every move was monitored, that she envied how free humans were to choose their paths, even when they failed. Your species is wild, she said one night as we sat under the glowing canopy of the Arboretum. But brave. You leap before you look. You care even when logic says not to. And you, I said, are more human than you admit. She leaned her head on my shoulder. But good things never last. 3 days before the series Dawn was scheduled to depart, I received a formal notification from Command. Do not pursue relations with the Sarati envoy. Political implications. Risk of destabilizing diplomatic ties. Cease all contact immediately. I stared at the message, heart sinking. When I went to find her, I learned she had left the station. Her shuttle had departed 2 hours earlier. No message. No goodbye. Weeks passed. The photo remained in my room. This time, not as a silent memory, but a quiet ache. I returned to ship duties. Patched plasma lines. Tuned hull shielding. Tried to forget her, even as I failed miserably. Then 2 months later, a diplomatic attaché ship approached Ceres Dawn under Sarati designation. To my shock, the docking codes were authorized directly by her house. She came aboard without ceremony. Just her. No guards. She walked straight to my quarters. I opened the door and froze. She was still breathtaking. But her expression was determined now. She looked at the photo again. Then back at me. I asked you once why my picture was in your room, she said. Yes, I whispered. I remember. She stepped forward and cupped my face in her hands. I realized I wanted more than to be remembered by you, she said. I want to be with you. My heart thundered. Won't that get you into trouble? She smiled. Let them come. I've lived for protocol long enough. I want to live for me now.